5 red heifers just landed in Israel that meet the requirements of being the perfect red heifer to be sacrificed for the third temple. So this will be a third temple update video, with that being the main key point of the video, but as well as a few articles of other recent things going on leading up to more just building of the third temple. As you'll see, I mean, the Jewish people are doing everything they can to build the third temple. So I'll play that footage here in a second of just as of September 14th, or probably even the 15th at the point the video was recorded, 5 perfect red heifers that meet the requirement for the sacrifice as mentioned in Numbers 19:3 have just made it to Israel from America originally. First, I want to read a description of the red heifer and the sacrifice and what that means, and then I'll play the video. According to rabbinical tradition, there have been 9 red heifers sacrificed since Moses' time. Since the destruction of the second temple, no red heifers have been slaughtered. The rabbi Maimonides around the year 1200 taught that the 10th red heifer would be sacrificed by the Messiah himself. Those who anticipate the construction of a third temple are eager to find a red heifer that meets all the conditions, because the red heifer ashes will be necessary to purify the new temple. Many consider that the appearance of a red heifer will herald the construction of the temple and the return of Christ. According to the Temple Institute, a group advocating for the construction of a third temple, a flawless red heifer was born in August 2018 in Israel. According to the futurist timeline of eschatology, there will indeed be a third temple of God in Jerusalem. Jesus prophesied a desecration of a temple during the tribulation, Matthew 24:15 and 2 Thessalonians 2:4. As well in Revelation, there's mention of the exact dimensions of a temple. For that to occur, there will obviously have to be a temple in Jerusalem to desecrate. Assuming that those who dedicate the end times temple follow Jewish law, they will need the ashes of a red heifer mixed with water for the ceremonial cleansing. If a blemish-free red heifer has truly been born, it could be seen as one more piece falling into place leading up to the fulfillment of Bible prophecy. I'll play this clip now. I saw it on Pastor Paul Begley's channel on YouTube, so you'll hear his voice talking a few times, as well as just the guy, I'm not sure who it is, recording it, but somebody in Israel at the site of these red heifers coming in from the airport. And I cut it up a little bit so it goes faster, but within it you'll hear him also talking about, they sing a song about the third temple, and they also, he at the end mentions how this could change, how it could change the direction of the world. Of course, as we know, and I mention every time, you know, they're expecting a Messiah to come that will not be Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the Messiah. So all this is going to go on. They're thinking they're building their whole thing to God and all this, but the Antichrist will desecrate, and through this, God will reveal to Israel and the entire world that Jesus Christ came. He's been the perfect sacrifice, and through this, hopefully their eyes will be opened. So here's this clip.
We interrupt the rabbi because the red heifers are arriving right now. You see, this is it. This is the moment. They've arrived, and we're about to see them for the first time here in the land of Israel. In that, they're behind that inside that wooden box.
We are getting closer and closer, folks. This is Bible prophecy right before your eyes, happening today.
You can see them peeking out. They look beautiful. Perfect. They just look perfect. They look happy, content. Wow, these look like the finest red heifers from around the world. For those not familiar with the song, it's all about the Holy Temple. Many times people come to the airport to greet new olim, new arrivals, human beings, Jews making aliyah to Israel. I think this is the first time that there's been such a welcome committee to greet some red heifers who have the potential to change everything, to change history, to change the direction of where we're going in the world.
So there's that, and like I mentioned, they talk about, they're singing a song about the temple within the video, mentioning how these red heifers and this whole process of the third temple and the heifers and all this will bring the coming of the Messiah and will change the direction of the world. the Temple Institute, like I've covered, they're pushing for one world religion. Many of these people within Israel who are aiming for this third temple ideology, they think all the religions are going to come there, they're all going to worship together. All this stuff that I've mentioned in all my videos, one world religion of the Abrahamic religions all coming together. So really to fulfill the end times, the Antichrist taking over and declaring himself to be God and to be worshipped, him in his image, because he's going to declare that he's God above everything that is worshipped. So it's really fitting right into that perfectly. Here's an article from 2018, and then I'll show an updated article on it that was just written a few days ago. But this is talking about a new high-speed train necessary for the third temple. Again, that's January 15th, 2018. This says the new high-speed train nearing completion connecting Israel's recently upgraded international airport directly to the Temple Mount is expected to be completed in time for Passover, which one mystic sees as fitting since so many esoteric hints indicate the road to the third temple will be paved with train tracks. The article goes on to say that within like Jewish kind of like Kabbalah things going on, they believe and have these mystic ideas that they've heard train whistles and that they believe for Mashiach, Messiah to come, train tracks are going to be laid to the third temple for redemption to come to Israel. A quote from one of the Jewish people who writes a blog about this says, "A high-speed train is precisely what is needed for Passover when all of Israel is required to bring their sacrifice to the temple, and that God is preparing the way for the pilgrims to arrive to the temple." Now, fast forward 4 years, this article, written on September 7th, 2022, last week, Ben Gurion, the airport there, gearing up to bring all 70 nations straight from the airport to the third temple. Israel is upgrading its already impressive international airport. The government is also working on a railway infrastructure that will bring international travelers directly from the airport to the Temple Mount. This will enable all 70 nations to come to worship God in Jerusalem's house of prayer, a vision that the government has already hinted is their true intention. Worth noting within the article, they say that a proposal was made to name the future temple train station after Donald Trump. I'm assuming for saying that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Now here, one more mention in this article is that it says transportation infrastructure will play an essential role in the third temple as a house of prayer for all nations. This was clearly in the minds of the Jerusalem municipality when they distributed brochures in the ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods of Jerusalem in July to address concerns about increasing the light rail system. The brochures featured religious Jews riding the light rail to the third temple, bearing animal and vegetable sacrifices. And that is depicted in this picture, as you can see here, with the train and the third temple off in the background up on the hill. So now, just to be clear, because the third temple and the sacrifice of the red heifer, this is all Old Testament. Jesus came, he's the perfect sacrifice. Sadly, the Jewish people don't see this. So they're continuing on with this, and I believe it plays into Bible prophecy. Personally, I believe it will be God showing Israel one more chance to give Jesus a chance, kind of like how in Bible prophecy it mentions that the Gentiles will trample it underfoot until the time of the Gentiles is complete, as well in the fact in Matthew 24, talking about the Great Tribulation, Jesus specifically mentions when these things start to happen, let those in Judea flee to the mountains. That's a pretty